You know, I got to ride the bike 4 months ago, 5 months ago in Buttonwillow in California. It's amazing how advanced the electronics are, how light the bike feels, how easy it is to get to change direction. On the brakes, how neutral the bike is, how easy it steers into the center of the corner. For me, it doesn't feel like any Suzuki I've ever ridden. You know, it really does everything, and it almost does it effortlessly.
How did you feel about the power on the bike? I mean, obviously with the new motor, with the VVT timing.
You know, I of course did a little bit of research before I went and tested it, and of course I had seen that stroke was shorter, bore was bigger, which typically means for a bike that doesn't have a lot of torque. But with the VVT technology that Suzuki has now, the bike pulls from well down, maybe 9,500, and revs all the way up to red lines at 14.5. So for me, there's no shortage of power, and the width of the power band to me is pretty amazing.
You did some laps today here at Phillip Island. How did you feel? What did you feel with the chassis? I mean, especially on the brakes at the end of the straight. I mean, was there any sort of stability or?
You know, I noticed early on that I thought the track was a little bit rough. I was way out towards the left edge of the track, and I noticed as I rode a little bit longer, the further in that I moved, the less the bumps were. So the outside third of the track's kind of bumpy. On the brakes, you know, go down, I forget even where at on the brake markers, but handful of brakes, stand the thing right on its nose and just tip it on into the corner, and it does nothing but inspires confidence in me. Turn one's one of the places that I've crashed here at Phillip Island, and it's definitely easy to get in there too hot and not be able to make that first turn, but this new GSX-R1000 really inspires confidence, whether it's on the brakes going in, direction change, trying to get through. I think they call it stoner now, isn't it? Turn 3. The thing just feels unbelievably stuck to the pavement. You know, through there in 5th, not quite flat out in 5th. Maybe if I, you know, after a nice big lunch, maybe I get through there flat in 5th with a new set of tires. But you know, and stops and turns, comes back for Honda just fine. Out of Siberia, that run, that left, and then through Hayshed and up into Lukey Heights and MG. The bike goes where it needs to. You can stop it, you can turn it downshift, the thing falls right back to the inside of the track. And then that last sequence of corners where you come out of MG, the next left, and then the last left leading onto the front straightaway. It helps if you do it exactly right, but even not doing it exactly right, the bike's so forgiving. You know, you can turn it down, lean it down a little bit further, a little bit more throttle. The TC looks after you, the back end slides just a little bit, helps tighten the corner up. Next thing you know, you come off, and as you come over the hill, everybody watching on front straight goes, man, look, he did that corner just perfect. No, there was just a lot of corrections happen from the corner entry to where we ended up at the exit. And you know, that's one of the things that I really notice about this new GSX-R is how effortless and how rider-friendly it seems to be. To me, it feels like you're riding from the lightness and the direction change and the stop. Feels like you're riding a 600, but yet it's, you know, it's got the power of I think a class-leading, you know, leader bike.
Back in the RG500 days, you know, you used to have the tiger by the tail. I mean, you were just legendary for just sticking the rear out and just leaving large black lines coming out of corners. Is this bike, I mean, with all these electronics and all these intervention aids, is this something does it spoil it for you, or are you able to let the bike do as you want and really just kind of relax and let the electronics take you?
You know, it takes a bit of riding and a few laps around here to try and get comfortable on the bike, to realize that the electronic aids are there and what they'll do and how much they do help. Absolutely, I enjoy riding something like this because there's not that all of a sudden big kick in the pants and I'm sideways and my feet are over my head, and man, did I get lucky enough to land back in the seat. It does. There's not the black lines out there that you would expect to see, and I think that's just a big tribute to how good the bike is and how great, or how much even better the electronics package is now. You know, the braking, the ABS, all that stuff is mandatory. Not mandatory, but it's needed for the general public. But it's also nice to know it's there to be able to help you out if you do get yourself into a situation.
Terrific. So overall, you think this bike's, I mean, is there any flaw in this bike that you can find?
Not that I've found yet. You know, I rode it on a fairly tight, twisty track at Buttonwell, and I rode it on a really fast flowing track here at Phillip Island. It seems like it's, once again, run, turn, stop. You know, the basics that Suzuki has always tried to follow with their GSX-R and its development, and that is acceleration, cornering, and braking. And to me, it's probably class leader in all three of those.